Good morning and welcome to the Daily Download. I'm your host, Brad Nelson, and today is Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. Here's what you need to know today. According to a 2025 Enterprise Browser Extension Security Report, these convenient tools used by nearly every employee are opening serious vulnerabilities across organizations. The report shows that 99% of enterprise users have at least one browser extension installed, and over half of them are running more than 10. While they help with productivity, these extensions dramatically increase the attack surface within the organization. Even more concerning is that 53% of extensions in enterprise environments have high or critical level permissions. These permissions grant access to sensitive data such as cookies, browsing history, passwords, and the content of visited web pages, meaning a single compromised extension could jeopardize the entire company. One emerging risk comes from Gen AI extensions, which over 20% of employees are now using. A majority of these also carry high-risk permissions, compounding the security challenge. Adding to the complexity, more than half of all extensions are published anonymously using Gmail accounts, with many authors releasing only one extension. This makes it extremely difficult to assess whether extensions are trustworthy. The problem doesn't stop there. Over half of the extensions haven't been updated in more than a year, and 26% are side-loaded, which is installed outside of official marketplaces and often bypassing any security vetting altogether. These outdated or unmanaged extensions leave enterprises exposed to unpatched vulnerabilities or outright malicious code. The report recommends IT and security teams take immediate steps to audit browser extensions across their environment, thoroughly analyze permission levels, and implement risk-based policies to manage this overlooked threat vector. The message is clear. Browser extensions are no longer just harmless add-ons. They're privileged applications that deserve much closer scrutiny. A critical remote code execution flaw has been uncovered in ASUS's Driver Hub utility, a driver management tool that comes pre-installed on systems using certain ASUS motherboards. The vulnerability discovered by independent security researcher Mr. Bruh could allow malicious websites to silently execute commands on a victim's computer. Driver Hub operates quietly in the background, continuously checking ASUS servers for driver updates through a local service on port 53,000. But thanks to two flaws, the software's validation of incoming requests was dangerously weak. Instead of properly verifying the source of these requests, the tool accepted any web request with a spoofed origin header containing the string driverhub.asus.com, even from clearly malicious domains. In a proof of concept, Mr. Bruh demonstrated how an attacker could use a fake site to trick DriverHub into downloading and executing a legitimate ASUS installer alongside a malicious file. The installer would then unknowingly execute the attacker's payload using configuration details from a rogue INI file, all without any user confirmation. Worse still, these malicious files weren't deleted after failing signature checks, increasing the persistence of the attack. ASUS received the report on April 8th and released a fix on April 18th, though it curiously claimed the issue didn't affect desktops or laptops, despite clear evidence to the contrary. Users are urged to immediately update DriverHub via the tool's Update Now button to receive the patch. For those wary of background services with this level of power, DriverHub can also be disabled directly in the system BIOS. Fortunately, there's no indication the vulnerability has been exploited in the wild, but it's a wake-up call. Even trusted tools from major vendors can become attack vectors if not properly secured. Microsoft has officially removed a major upgrade block that was preventing some users from installing Windows 11 2024 update, also known as version 24H2. The issue affected devices running Safe Exam Browser, an open-source tool widely used in schools and certification testing environments to lock down systems and prevent cheating during online exams. The compatibility block was put in place last September after Microsoft discovered that opening Safe Exam browser version 3.7 or earlier could cause problems on the new Windows release. The good news? The developers have resolved the issue, and Microsoft now advises all users to update to version 3.8 or later before upgrading to Windows 11 24H2. If users still see the block 48 hours after updating the app, Microsoft recommends reaching out to Safe Exam browser support directly. Also worth noting is those using the media creation tool for a manual upgrade will be able to proceed after following on-screen instructions. Meanwhile, Microsoft continues rolling out Windows 11 24H2 to more users. Last week, the update was made broadly available to compatible systems, though some machines are still on hold due to hardware or software conflicts. Known blocks remain in place for systems with Dirac audio enhancements, easy anti-cheat, certain integrated cameras, and other niche software combinations. The Windows 11 24H2 update originally launched in May 2024 for enterprise testing and has gradually expanded to more eligible devices. With each compatibility fix, Microsoft moves closer to full deployment. Just be sure to upgrade your apps before hitting that upgrade button. A Turkey-linked cyber espionage group known as Marble Dust, also tracked as Sea Turtle, Silicon, and UNC 1326, has been caught using a previously unknown zero-day vulnerability to spy on users of the Output Messenger LAN messaging app, particularly those connected to the Kurdish military in Iraq. According to Microsoft Threat Intelligence, the hackers exploited CVE 2025-27920, a directory traversal bug that allowed authenticated users to access sensitive files or plant malicious payloads on vulnerable systems. If successfully exploited, the flaw could lead to remote code execution and full compromise of the targeted server. The attack focused on victims who hadn't yet updated to the patched Output Messenger version 2.0.63, released back in December. Once inside, the attackers deployed a custom backdoor called omserverservice.exe and connected to a command and control server to collect system info and exfiltrate data. Microsoft noted that while the exact method for gaining initial access remains unclear, Marble Dust is known for tactics like DNS hijacking and typo-squatted domains to steal login credentials, a technique they've used in past campaigns. Once compromised, the attackers could read private messages, impersonate users, steal sensitive data, and disrupt internal systems. In one confirmed case, the malware ordered a file exfiltration operation with stolen files bundled into a RAR archive and sent off to an attacker-controlled IP. This latest campaign marks a technical leap for Marble Dust, suggesting they're leveling up in sophistication and possibly shifting their espionage priorities. In the past, the group has targeted telecoms, ISPs, and Kurdish organizations across Europe and the Middle East. Microsoft urges all Output Messenger users to immediately update to the latest version and stay vigilant for DNS hijacking attempts. A malicious campaign is targeting users on Facebook by promoting fake generative AI tools, but instead of images and logos, victims get malware. Security researchers at Morphisec uncovered a growing scam where attackers set up Facebook groups to promote bogus AI platforms, often impersonating tools like Luma AI's Dream Machine. These groups claim to offer free generative services like logo design, video generation, or website creation. Here's the trick. Once a user uploads a file or prompt, the fake site processes it, then instructs the user to download the final product. That download? It's not an image, it's malware. Specifically, victims are hit with nudelophile Stealer, sometimes bundled with Xworm. These tools steal browser credentials, cookies, and cryptocurrency, and can even give attackers remote access to the system. Data is exfiltrated through Telegram bots, and the campaign appears to originate from a Vietnamese malware-as-a-service developer. What makes this campaign especially dangerous is how legitimate it looks, with realistic websites and thriving Facebook groups filled with unsuspecting users. According to Morphisec's research, the campaign has already impacted freelancers, small business employees, and AI enthusiasts, with infections seen even in mid-sized companies. Google is currently testing a new AI mode feature in its search interface, showing up for a small group of US users in the experimental labs environment. This chatbot-like assistant is being positioned in various locations on the search page, either next to the search by image button or replacing the long-standing "I'm feeling lucky" button. In some cases, the AI mode button even features a rotating rainbow border to highlight its presence. Google says this is just one of many ongoing experiments and hasn't confirmed whether AI mode will fully replace "I'm feeling lucky," a nostalgic feature that takes users directly to the top search result. Still, the move suggests Google may be leaning toward AI-driven conversational search results over traditional link listings. This change reflects a broader shift in how search engines are evolving with generative AI, potentially streamlining the search experience through AI chat responses. The White House has confirmed a reduction in tariffs on low-cost imports from China and Hong Kong following a broader 90-day mutual tariff de-escalation agreement. Starting May 14th, packages valued over $800 will be taxed either at a reduced 54% rate, which is down from 120%, or with a flat $100 per parcel fee, which remains unchanged. Plans to increase the flat rate to $200 on June 1st have been canceled. This move is aimed at reforming the de minimis exemption, which previously let low-value imports bypass duties entirely, a loophole that helped e-commerce giants like Temu and Shein grow rapidly. Though the new rates are less extreme than previous increases, they still pose a challenge for these companies, which have already raised U.S. prices in response to earlier tariff hikes. Microsoft's annual Build Developer Conference kicks off next week from May 19th to the 22nd, and is expected to spotlight major AI announcements, especially around Copilot and Windows. Following last year's introduction of Copilot integrations and AI-powered PCs, this year's build will likely unveil deeper Copilot integrations across both consumer and enterprise products. Microsoft recently raised prices for services like Microsoft 365 and Windows 365 by 5%, suggesting new AI-powered features could be part of the justification. Copilot is set to be a major focus, with rumors pointing to new agentic features, including the ability to perform basic PC tasks automatically via an action button in Windows. Additionally, Microsoft is reportedly testing alternative AI models from companies like xAI, Meta, Anthropic, and DeepSeek, signaling possible tension in its relationship with OpenAI. Microsoft may also use this conference to unveil its own internal MAI model family, potentially offered via API, as well as a second-generation Azure Maya AI chip, which is reportedly being manufactured by Marvell. All keynotes will be streamed online for free, making this a widely accessible event for developers and AI enthusiasts alike. Microsoft has reversed its earlier decision to stop supporting Microsoft 365 apps on Windows 10 after the operating system's end-of-support date on October 14, 2025. The company now says it will continue to provide security updates for Microsoft 365 apps on Windows 10 until October 10, 2028, giving users an additional 3 years of protection. This change, quietly announced in late April, contrasts with Microsoft's January warning that Office apps would no longer be supported on Windows 10 later this year. The updated support policy aimed at helping organizations maintain security while they transition to Windows 11, though Microsoft still urges businesses to upgrade to avoid performance and reliability issues. Meanwhile, Microsoft continues to push for a mass migration to Windows 11, calling 2025 the year of the Windows 11 PC refresh. For users unwilling or unable to upgrade, the company will offer extended security updates, which will cost $30 per year for consumers. And that brings us to today's tech tip. Audit your browser extensions because they could be a hidden security risk. According to a recent enterprise report, over 50% of browser extensions used in workplaces have high or critical risk permissions, giving them access to things like your browsing history, cookies, passwords, and even the contents of web pages. Some are even published anonymously and haven't been updated in over a year. So here's what you can do. Review the extensions installed on your browser. Remove anything you don't recognize or no longer use. Avoid extensions that request excessive permissions. Stick to well-reviewed extensions from trusted developers, and consider disabling extensions entirely in sensitive environments. A few minutes of cleanup now could prevent major headaches later. Thank you for listening to the Daily Download. All sources for today's stories will be in the description below. Today's episode is brought to you by FRCS Tech, your trusted partner in business technology solutions. If you'd like to learn more, visit us at www.frcstech.com. And I'll see you tomorrow.